Welcome dear students. In this class we are going to learn about vesicular trafficking of proteins into endosome and ultimately to the lysosome. As we all know that lysosome is an organelle in which different type of enzymes are present. We call lysosomal hydrolases. Examples like nuclease, protease, lipases. So this is a site or compartment where different molecules can be digested. So there are majorly 4 pathways or routes are present through which or by which different molecules can reach to the lysosome. I will show you the 4 pathway. The first pathway we call phagocytosis. Then by this way, phagocytosis, example cells like macrophage, dendritic cells engulfs another cell or bacteria. They form phagosome. This phagosome actually fuse with lysosome. They fuse with lysosome and ultimately form phagolysosome. This is the first way. Another way is endocytosis. In this way, any cell can engulf different type of molecules. So in this endocytosis, at first it will form endocytic vesicle. Endocytic vesicle. Then this endocytic vesicles becomes early endosome. I will show you. Then this early endosome actually fuse with late endosome. So this early endosome fuse with late endosome. This late endosome fuse with lysosome and ultimately it will form endolysosome. Lysosome. Okay, so these are the ultimate product like phagolysosome, where the bacteria or cell are digested. This is endolysosome, where the molecules will be digested. Other second, third route is macropinocytosis, through which vesicles form and fuse with late endosome. And ultimately it will fuse with lysosome. So the ultimate destination is here, lysosome. Another way of to reach the destination into the lysosome is fourth, that is autophagy, by which autophagosome form, and this autophagosome fuse with lysosome. So the ultimate destination is here also, lysosome. So you can see in this all 4 pathway molecules reach to the lysosome. Now I will show you another thing, a cycle like structure, cycle actually, in which endosome, lysosome and endolysosome are actually participate. Here in a cell there is late endosome. This late endosome can fuse with pre-existing lysosome. So both this structure can fuse and ultimately form endolysosome. But not only that, a late endosome can also fuse with endolysosome, pre-existing endolysosome, and after digestions these endolysosomes become lysosome. Here you can see endolysosome can fuse with pre-existing lysosome can form endolysosome. This is one way. Another way is late endosome can fuse with endolysosome and form the lysosome. How we will discriminate between late endosome, endolysosome and lysosome? There is a way. This is very important. But before I come to this point, I will show you how lysosomal enzymes actually reach to the lysosome. The fact is here, I have mentioned in my previous classes of vesicular trafficking that protein actually enter into the endoplasmic reticulum. Then from the endoplasmic reticulum, protein that are destined to the lysosome will reach to the cis-Golgi network. Cis-Golgi network. From the cis-Golgi network, it will reach to the stack-like structure called cis-cisterna, then medial cisterna, then trans-cisterna. These all things, and another is this is also a compartment, sub-compartment of the Golgi complex, and then ultimately reach to the another thing we call trans-Golgi network. We call in short TGN. So a protein, let's suppose a green protein that is actually lysosomal protein at first enter inside the ear to the CGN, then CGN to cis, then to the medial, then trans-Golgi network. This is totally called Golgi complex. Okay, and ultimately from the TGN, vesicles actually bud off. So this is called anterogate movement. From this, the proteins move forwardly, anterogate movement, and ultimately vesicles will bud off from the TGN and can reach to the late endosome or directly to the lysosome also. The lysosomal enzyme can reach indirectly to the late endosome that can fuse with the lysosome, pre-existing lysosome, or it can reach directly to the lysosome, the protein. The process is here in case of if the vesicles fuse with the lysosome, late endosome, the protein involved are called clathrin, that is coat protein, clathrin, and AP1. This is called adapter protein 1. They actually helps the fusion of these vesicles with the late endosome. But if this protein fuse directly with the lysosome, there is no need of clathrin, only AP3 protein is involved for direct movement of protein to the lysosome from the TGN. Now another route is there. This is called plasma membrane. Let's suppose this is a cell, and this is the plasma membrane. From the plasma membrane, I have mentioned here that endocytosis can occur, phagocytosis can occur, macropinocytosis can occur, and autophagy actually occur inside the cell. I am giving you an example of endocytosis. Like during the endocytosis, plasma membrane actually form bud-like structure. It is called budding. And here, when some proteins actually enter from the outside to the inside, we call endocytosis. This is the proteins that is destined to the lysosome. This protein actually, this budding actually form with the help of two different proteins called clathrin. Clathrin is same. Clathrin will be remain same, but another protein is called adapter protein 2, not adapter protein 1. When this vesicle budding occurs, the vesicle budding helped by this clathrin and AP2, not by this AP1 or AP3. Now this bud actually pinching off and will form, at first will form these endocytic vesicles. What we will call endocytic vesicles? When these vesicles already coated with clathrin and AP2, we call endocytic vesicles. But when these endocytic vesicles remove this coat protein, we call early endosomes. Suppose this protein, if it enters inside the vesicles, or it could be membrane proteins. It could be the membrane proteins. Let's suppose these proteins in green color, these are the plasma membrane bound membrane proteins. Then what happens? These after budding, this protein will remain attached with the membrane. At first, if there is coat protein attached with these vesicles, we call endocytic vesicles. After removal of the coat protein, only when there is only vesicles, we call early endosome. This is early endosome. Now this early endosome will fuse with late endosome. Okay, now how we will discriminate this late endosome, lysosome and endolysosome, because they actually fuse. This is very confusing area. Late endosome can fuse with lysosome, and also can fuse with this endolysosome. So this fusion can occur, and ultimately it will produce this ultimate, okay, lysosome. Now I will show you how this discrimination can be. Actually, you can discriminate these three organelles. Let me draw here in a big structure. Okay, so I have drawn that a vesicles, that is vesicles with membrane bound proteins that are destined, this green protein should be digested. So this protein should reach to the lysosome. Now when vesicles attach with this protein, we call this early endosome. Okay, now this early endosome will fuse with late endosome. This is bigger in size, late endosome. So this is bigger in size, then it will fuse, and ultimately this is late endosome, and ultimately this green protein now present in the late endosome, because it will fuse. This early endosome will fuse with the late endosome, and the green protein is present with this late endosome. Now another thing occur that I have not mentioned here. This is called, this late endosome ultimately mature. This is called maturation, and form multivesicular bodies. Multivesicular body means here this late endosome actually perform budding, but inwardly. They actually form bud, but inwardly. That means they will form like this, structure, this type of structure. Okay, and what happens, these green proteins are actually not present in this structure. Now it will already also present with this budding structure, not in this region, will present in budding region. Okay, now ultimately what will form, this budding actually occur, and ultimately it will form a structure that is called multivesicular body, but also it is called late endosome. Multivesicular body, late endosome, and here vesicle will be formed. Vesicle like structure will be formed, because I have mentioned that the budding occurred inwardly, and the protein that are destined to the lysosome present in these vesicles will remain in these vesicles. So as these late endosomes have multiple vesicles, it is called multivesicular body. Okay, you can see here the multivesicular body. Now this late endosome will fuse with lysosome, and the lysosome contains different enzymes. Let me draw in red color. So let's assume this late endosome will fuse with the lysosome, and lysosome will deliver all the enzymes for the digestions, and ultimately it will form endolysosome. So this is called endolysosome. So after fusion it is called endolysosome. So if we want to discriminate late endosome from endolysosome, that means late endosome don't have enzyme, But when it fuses with the lysosome, it contains multivesicular bodies with some enzymes we call endolysosome. And ultimately, how we can discriminate lysosomes? Because after digestions, when this endolysosome digests all these vesicles and these proteins, there will be no such proteins and vesicles will be remain there, and ultimately it will become it will have only enzymes. That's why it is called lysosome. So it will ultimately form into lysosome. You can see here the fragment of protein can be present, but there will be no vesicles, multivesicular body will be no present there. So let endosome have multivesicle, only multivesicles. When it fuses with the pre-existing lysosomes, it contains multivesicles plus enzymes, endolysosomes. And ultimately, when it actually digests the enzymes, when digest the vesicles and the proteins, then it will become lysosome ultimately, because this structure don't have any vesicles and proteins. Now, how this budding occur? Because this budding is very important. You can see here I have drawn the structure. How I have shown you that it will look like this. Okay, I am showing here. Okay, so this is called multivesicular. This is the budding, inward forming. Here two proteins are involved. One protein is called HRS. This protein helps in these budding formations, and actually what I have told you that these proteins are actually present at first simultaneously all over the bodies, but this HRS protein actually helps to locate this protein inside the vesicle or body. Only this area, this HRS protein helps in these formations. And there is another protein called Escort protein, ESCRT. Escort means endosome shorting complex required for transport. Don't have to remember the full name, just name a complex. This is actually complex, Escort complex. This protein complex actually helps in the pinching of this bud, so that this bud actually form ultimately. It will actually helps in the formation of this bud. Total vesicle structure helps in the formation, pinching of Escort protein. And when this Escort protein actually assemble, they must be reused another time. So for that reason, another enzyme is actually responsible, we call VPS4, that actually disassemble the Escort protein for the another time of use, so that it can be used another time. So I will also recommend you two books, Lodis and Bruce Albert, for this picture. And HIV virus, when bud off from the cells, also hijack this mechanism, exact this protein Escort and HRS protein. One thing I want to share with you for your CSIR preparation, B group questions, this HRS protein and this targeted proteins are actually tagged with ubiquitin. These proteins are tagged with ubiquitin when they are actually form bud-like structure. So this is all about vesicular trafficking of proteins inside the endosome and ultimately to the lysosome. This video will help you. Thank you for watching, and always keep learning.